Hi, my name is Jess, and welcome to From Me to You Video Photography and Book Reviews YouTube channel. I also have a blog under the same name. So, every year since 2011, I have done a thankful list of the books that I've been thankful for reading that year. And since 2017, I have taken that onto my YouTube channel as well and asked any YouTube creators who I know, friends, or just booktubers, and I put the word out there to see if anybody would join me on this endeavor. And this year I have 4 lovely, lovely ladies to join me and have them talk about a book or more than one book that they have read in 2020 that they are thankful for reading. So you'll get to see theirs, and then you'll get to see mine, and then I'll let you know what my list is more about. So enjoy!
Hello, I'm Stephanie, and I have a YouTube channel called Steph's Romance Book Talk. Thank you, Jess, for including me in this thankful video. I know that there's not a lot of things to be thankful for, but this year, this book really spoke to me. It's called Barred Souls by Ellie Wade, and I really appreciated the emotional roller coaster ride that Ellie ends up taking us on in this story. It's a story about a young girl that goes to college, and it's her first year. If you have seen or heard or experienced the book After by Anna Todd, you may find similarities within this story. This young girl goes off to college, and it's her first year. She ends up running into this guy that has a super troubled past. However, he also happens to be rich and is really kind of taking life for granted. He has some things in his past that he's not very good with. He's kind of like a bad seed, and you know, you get to know both of these two characters. You get to see how they fall in love, how this epic love kind of takes them on this journey. And I do not consider this story a romance, so I know that I primarily talk about romances on my channel, but this is more of a love story, and it definitely does not have that happy ever after that you need for a romance. So I hope that you don't go into it thinking that it's a romance. It is more of a love story. It is more of a epic story that needs to be told. It is heart-wrenching, and it is going to pull at your heartstrings, especially if there are any topics within the story that hit home for you. There are content warnings for addiction and I guess you could probably say psychologically abusive relationships that go on within this story. So be forewarned about that before going in. Be mentally prepared for an emotional ride of this story. But I am very thankful for it because it's a story that needs to be told, and not a lot of people talk about it. There are themes within the story that are very much pushed under the rug and not talked about in different situations. So go in with an open heart and open mind to be completely emotionally moved. And thank you again, Jess, for having me show you guys a book that I am thankful for this year.
Hi, Ingrid here from the Ingrid Chronicles, and I want to thank Jess for inviting me over to share some of my favorite novels or books that I've read so far in 2020. So really quick, I love to read. I'm a homeschooling mom. I'm also a psych major, so I love to read all different types of books and all different types of genre. This year I made it, I was on a mission to read books that were intentional and on purpose. So I kind of strayed away from the novels this year, but all of the books that I chose for 2020 were more intentional, more purposeful. And that's the reason that, the books that I'm going to speak about today is going to reflect that specific type of genre. So all of the books I either read from an ebook or Audible, so you're going to see a picture of the book. The first one is by Amy Elizabeth Mikutiak. And the name of the book is Send Help and Coffee, A Shot of Encouragement for Homeschool Moms. And that was definitely a great book for me. It really helped. It gives a lot of tips and encouragement, most of all, for homeschooling moms who may be burning both ends of the candle. The second book I'm going to share is Switch On Your Brain, The Key to Peak Happiness, Thinking, and Health. And this one is by Dr. Caroline Leaf. I love this book. She's mixing the psychology and theology, and that's what I love about it. And she gives us the message in the book is that we have the power to change the circumstances that we face by the way we think. And I thought it was a great book. If you haven't checked it out, do so today. Absolutely fabulous. It also comes with a workbook. And the last book I'm going to share with you all, although I have tons of other books that I've read and I read and I continue to read, so you can always check me out later. The third book is Girls with Swords, Why Women Need to Fight Spiritual Battles. I absolutely love this book. It is so timely, especially for today's time, whether it's political or because of the pandemic or just being a woman in general. And there you have it. Those are the 3 books that I've enjoyed for 2020 so far. And I hope you continue to support Jess's channel. And see you all next time, guys. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Katy. So this year I am thankful for 2 books. One being more of a YA romance and one being more of a mystery. They've been my 2 favorite releases of the year. So first one is Crave, and this was released in April along with Crush, which was just released. So Crave is a YA vampire novel by Tracy Wolff. This book follows Grace. She has to move to Alaska after both of her parents pass away, and she goes to this elite academy that her uncle is the headmaster of. Things are different, things are amiss. You're trying to figure out what's going on here. Clearly there's like a paranormal vibe going on. She's just trying to figure it out. Well, soon she does, and she meets Jackson Vega, who is, I guess, the mysterious, scary one in the school. And of course they immediately find each other's attention, keep each other's attention. Reason why I loved this book was because I loved the Alaskan atmosphere. Like, I know actually living in Alaska is probably not anywhere like near this, but I love the snowy moments. I love that it was at an academy. I love the mystery about it, and I love Jackson and I love Grace. Sometimes I felt like Grace made a little bit of a poor choice here and there, but Jackson definitely was good. And this is more YA, so there's not going to be super steamy moments, but there's still that sweet, and there's also that angst going on in there. My other favorite book of the year, book I'm thankful for this year, is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Last year I had read The Hunting Party, and it wasn't my favorite, but I discovered it's probably because I listened to it on audiobook. It's the same sort of structure. There are multiple POVs in here. The POVs are the bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, and the bridesmaid. It takes place at a wedding in a remote island off of Ireland. Someone is killed, which you find out in the beginning, and you're trying to find out who did it. Actually, you're trying to find out who actually it was too. This gripped me from the very beginning. I love the stormy atmosphere. I love the mystery about it. I loved everything about it. The twist at the end was something I didn't see coming. It definitely was a page turner. I don't want to give too much more away, but just know it's a crazy wedding that happens, and you just gotta follow along and figure it out. Yes, those books are the 2 books I'm thankful for. They're very different. They're very good in each of their own way, and I love those books.
Hi guys, my name is Ezrah from I Heart Romance, and one of the books that I'm really thankful that I read this year is Whiteout by Adrienne Anders. This is the first book in the Survival Instinct series, and it is a romantic suspense, opposites attract romance. I absolutely love this book. The hero and heroine, Angel and Ford, are actually stuck in Antarctica with minimal supplies, and they're actually pursued by a group of people who want to gain control of the bacteria that was discovered in Antarctica. This book is just way so good. I cannot believe that I waited this long to read it. This was actually published in February or earlier this year, and I only read it last month. This book had me at the edge of my seat. The survival in this book felt so real, and it's really interesting because the heroine, Angel, is actually a cook for the team, for the group of scientists that were there, and Ford is one of the lead researchers or lead scientists in their group. So you have this expert scientist who is partnered with somebody who he is so attracted to, but she didn't know anything about survival, and the journey that these two people go together is just amazing. So they actually have to stay together so that they can go to the next station to call for help while they're still being pursued by these group of villains. If you haven't read this book yet, I highly recommend that you do. It was one of my favorite reads this year, and I can't wait for the next book in the series.
I thank so much all the ladies that had talked about the books that they were really into this year before me. So as I had said, this is part of a thankful book list that is going to be posted on my blog. Usually, at least in the past 2 years when I've done this part of it on my YouTube channel, I have highlighted 1 or 2 of the books that are on my list that I've given 5 stars to, but I really cannot narrow it down to 1. My list this year is not big. This year I've only done 12 books that I've given 5 stars to. I will give you at least a breakdown of what they consist of though. 4 are reverse harem reads. 1 is a children's book that is very tiny that I had read with my 2 kids at the beginning of this year. 1 is an Amish romance. 2 are hot paranormal romances. 1 is a contemporary nanny romance, and then 3 are historical romances. 9 of them were very big surprises for me because they were all new reads, and then 3 of them were rereads for me. 1 was a reread that I did recall that I didn't give 5 stars the first time I read it, and the other 2, I didn't remember the ratings that I gave them, but they both were part of the G. Bailey's Protected by Dragons series that I had mentioned earlier in this year in a previous video. So, yeah, I really enjoyed all 12 of these novels. Some of them are winners. 1 hasn't even come out yet and will be coming out in January of 2021, and I really want you to go and check all of them out on my list, which is going to be linked down below. Also, while you're down there, right underneath my link to my thankful book list, I will have another link to this video and also book links for all of the novels that my collab partners had talked about, as well as links to get to their social media stuff so you can go follow them over there. Also, I will have their YouTube channels all linked down below to make that quicker access for you. So please go follow them. There was the lovely Stephanie from Steph's Romance Book Talk, Ingrid from the Ingrid Chronicles, Katy from Katy McPike, I think is her last name. And then there's Ezrah from I Heart Romance. Thank you, ladies, for joining me so much. I really appreciate for you being here, and also you, the viewer. Thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed to me on this channel, my blog, or any of my social media accounts, please do so. Please like or dislike this video as you see fit, as I say in all my videos, because you being here still and watching to the end is all that really matters. So yeah, like it as well, dislike it as well. Thank you for doing either one of those. Basically around this point, I ask you what your favorite novel is that you're currently reading, but I am curious, do you have a favorite read of 2020 thus far, since I know we still have a month left of this year? What is it? Let me know. Please give the author name as well, so if somebody has not heard about it but is interested in looking into more of it, then I'll know as well. Any heart emojis in the comment section if you don't want to comment anything else, just so I know you're still here, that'd be awesome as well. Yeah, I love romance novels. That is my bread and butter, what I always go to. If there's not a romance in a novel, I haven't really liked it. I used to like a lot of women's fiction. Lately, I need straight romance, but I'm easy to please for the most part. However, I've read a little over 100 novels this year, which is common for me, but it's not as high a number as what I'm used to. So that's why my list is so small. I've had issues, and if you go into my blog, I get more into that, especially within my Thankful book list. I explain why my book list looks like it does this year. So yes, check out those blog posts, because more information about this whole setup and also this year for me is all in there. Again, thank you for being here. Please stay tuned to this channel or any of my other social media accounts, but definitely subscribe to one of them, please, because you never know what in the world is gonna happen next. Take care and happy Thanksgiving.